Okay, so hello guys, this is the Bridge Show and I'm Yemraim Chato. So currently we are in Harare Gardens and we're going to be discussing issues on sexual reproductive health rights and the intersectionality with climate change. So stay tuned, we have some really exciting things coming up. Let's go! Okay. So, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. So my name is Yemraim Chato and you are?
I'm Matla Changara.
That's a very nice name.
Thank you.
So I'm going to be asking you some random questions about climate change and sexual reproductive health.
Okay.
So to begin with, what exactly do you understand? And you as a youth, how do you feel affected by both concepts?
Both concept of climate change and sexual reproductive health.
Yes.
So, I think as for me, climate change affects me in different ways. For example, heat wave, you can see there's so much heat nowadays. And also with drought and El Nino, I'm facing so much challenges in terms of my education system. I'm facing different challenges, poverty. My family, from a family background, we depend much on farming. So with the drought and El Nino, it caused a bigger effect on my family, financial crisis.
Oh, okay. So all these problems, how exactly do they affect your sexual reproductive health rights as a youth?
Okay, for my sexual reproductive health, I'm having difficulties in terms of period. I'm facing difficult. No, sorry, I'm facing difficult.
No, it's okay. You can use Shona.
Okay, my pads. Continue so one of my pads.
Okay, so shortage is being caused by the absence of money from farming.
As I've mentioned, my family depends on farming.
Okay.
Mostly. So marika shinji no wanika kurima kwatinenge tichiita. So pakazoitika drought El Nino yakakonzera kuti kurima kwataita kwakabva kwadzikisa production yedu and mari yataiwana kudhara nemari yakuwanika is now different.
Has kungori inflation, so things are just generally expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I've heard about drought, but then how do you also think kuti iwewe if kumakwenyu kwamaito mbokwanisa kurima and everything are facing these challenges? What are the challenges do you think kuti vamwe vanhu vasinotombobvira vawana a shot or an opportunity yekuti vange vachikwanisa kurima? How do you think they are being affected, and what measures would you try to encourage the youth to take so that they mitigate some of these challenges?
Well, I think said kwakuni kwakatoma zvechokwadi chikozi kusaid kwedu kwakatoma, but for them vasingatombvera tomboita farming kunotori serious. So I think for the youth we can try to do small projects so that we can just help each other in our communities and even get help from the government. Government kwasatobatsirawo in terms of kana tikaita projects kana tida kuita zvekurima mavheji and then totima mavheji kana titaita project chokuti whatever project tinenge tangofunga ipapo I think zvinobatsira.
So people should be really serious nema projects avo. Takuda ma entrepreneurs guys, because
ideas.
Okay, so about sexual reproductive health rights, you're saying that you're facing problems in terms of your menstrual health.
Yes.
But then there are also problems as a menstrual health. Are there any other challenges that you might be facing? Probably access to my services.
Well, in my community, nandigare muno Harare, I'm here because of school. So in my community, kwandrova kuumberengwa, like to know, I can see from background inenge ichitwa culture iriko koko kuti like kana my parents families na mari children, they are forced to be married kune vanhu vanenge vachizivikana muma communities kuti vanenge vane tombodziwa kana 2 kana 3. So I think those are some of the challenges that not me but some of my colleagues are facing in the community.
Vana vari kuzonzi should get married. Vanenge vari of legal age because we're kind of having a problem ne government.
Sometimes legal age is not even, we are not even considering legal age. Mwana akatongonza asumukira bichana atomudhafuka anenge akutongonza she is now ready for marriage.
Okay, my viewers, please do not date people who are underage. You get arrested, definitely. Okay. I guess generally.
Yes.
But what besides entrepreneuring, what other advice would you give to the youth? Maybe you guys could try and do this and do that. Also issues the Guti. Yeah, you're in school, right? I have to ask you, you do know Kuti, there are very important places on Kwanza Kwenda Nongo offer massive strictly for the youth, right?
That's right.
Yeah, okay. So what are some of the places that you know where people can get like that assistance?
Say what? Fiercely. And there's O3 Plus. And there's coaching and mentoring. These are like clubs that are offered at University of Zimbabwe that I know. So I'm just referring to them.
Okay, so Matla is it. Thank you so much for your time. Please stay hydrated. Okay, so bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, I think I might have spotted our next victim. So let's go. Oh my goodness. Hey, gorgeous.
Hello.
I really like your dress.
Oh, thank you.
So ignore those guys. What's your name?
My name is Toma Masani.
Okay, nice to meet you, Tauma. I'm Yemrai. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions in relation to climate change and sexual reproductive health rights. So before we get into anything, what did you understand from like what I just said?
From what you said, I think you said you're going to ask me questions about climate change and SRHR.
Yes.
Oh, I think maybe what you're trying to say is just that maybe the intersectionality between climate change and SRHR, how those two are linked, something like that. I don't know if I'm right.
No, you're very right.
Okay.
You're always right. So now, since we're talking about the linkage between climate change and sexual reproductive health rights, what do you think are the most prominent and like current problems that most of the youth are facing as a result of climate change in accessing sexual reproductive health rights help?
Okay, I think there's an issue of displacement. Let's take, for example, the Chimanimani region. A lot of people were displaced, which means that due to the floods, a lot of buildings were destroyed. So right now it becomes a challenge for youth to access services before the flood happened.
Oh, this is in relation to Cyclone Idai, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then there's also an issue of maybe comprehensive sexuality education, like due to climate change, like the way services were being provided before, or the way youths, or maybe us as youth were educated before, is now different because a lot of factors are being considered due to climate change. A lot has changed, and it's a pit that most of the effects are negative.
Okay, so can you give me like a rundown of some of the effects?
I think there's I once mentioned the issue of displacement. Yes. Then there's also an issue of maybe due to climate change, we see a rise in early child marriages, unsafe abortions. Like, then there's an issue of menstrual health. Like a lot of people, a lot of vulnerable communities no longer have access to safe abortion services, like, and also sanitary wear like before. Then there's also the issue of water scarcity in relation to menstrual health. We all know that we are girls. I know you understand this issue. Menstruation and water, you cannot separate the two. So due to water shortages, as a result of climate change, it becomes a problem to manage our menstrual health.
Okay, so what could be like some of the advice that you could give to a youth who's listening right now, who's probably suffering from one or more of the problems that you've listed? What advice would you give them so that they find a way to ensure that they live a healthy life?
To a youth, okay.
Girl to girl.
I think in relation to SRHR, I think I can say that it's really important for us to take heed of the advice that we would be given, because a lot of people, we take it for granted if someone comes to me telling me about SRHR, what to do during menstruation, how to keep self, something like that. I think it's really important for us to take heed of that advice that we'll be getting, because you never know when you may need it. Then in terms of menstrual health, I think using menstrual supplies that are reusable, for example cups, pads, they can help in the long run. Kuti other than using these pads that we use kuti unongoshandisa wotorasa, but ukashandisa those ones which are reusable, even pakauya nyaya dzekuti hanzi tazochinjwa hapasina munhu achakwanisa kuti supplyira mapads, if I have those I can easily and safely use them.
Okay, so girls, take note of those reusable pads. They might come in very, very, very handy in the future. Okay, so thank you so much, though, Mama Zani, for your insightful contribution to this. I hope the youth are going to take this and run with it. So thank you so much and enjoy the shed.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Okay, so to my girls, don't forget to use those reusable pads. They may come in very, very, very handy. Okay, so this was the Breed Show, brought to you by Say What in partnership with UNFPA. Don't forget to call 577 mental health, sexual health, whatever you need.